So let's work on something new. So basically I just want to start picking up items. Okay, so we don't have to just switch on this. Now it's going to be sort of simple to do this, but first let's create something that will tell us that we have an item to pick up. Okay, for now it's just going to be simple, then later we might add a little bit more logic to it or whatever. Okay, so we have our canvas. Let's switch this to scale with screen size. And let's reset. Just move it down here. Okay, obviously it's not something perfect, but it will have to do. Let's create game UI script and let's open it up. So the namespace. Now we're going to need, well, of course, we're going to need to have access to this with an easy way. So we're just going to make this into a singleton, and then on awake, we're going to set this up. No need to worry about having multiple game UIs. We're only going to be spawning one of these, obviously. So for now, let's only use a game object pick up text. Okay, and we'll handle the rest from our controller. Now, or on our controller, let's see. Yeah, of course, let's add this onto our canvas. Let's say game UI. Let's add this down here. And let's call this pickup text. Okay, we have our canvas. Then on our controller, we basically need something that tells us this is a player. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. We can either have something from, actually let's just do this directly from the input manager, since we know it's only the input manager that is going to be affecting that. And we need to be detecting if there is any case close to us that there is interactions. So let's write handle interaction detections. Okay. Normally we can just use a collider or colliders, and we're going to do a physics.overlap sphere from the controller.mTransform.position, and let's say about 3 or 4 cases. Of course, this will be casted on all layers. We don't really have a need to cast this on all layers. So let's go find a manager script, or we're going to create a new manager script. In this case, the settings can be one, and we can have a public static layer mask for interactions layer. Okay. Then you could just say static layer mask. Actually, we'll just set them up once. And then on my input manager, I'm going to have to start to set the interactions layer from the settings, or on the settings. The interactions layer then is going to just be, I think it's going to, let's say that we're going to fix it at 15. Okay, so we're only looking at one layer, colliders.length. Okay, So now we need something to tell us that there is an interaction happening, or there is an actual item we can pick up. So I'm going to go into my interfaces and I'm going to create the Interactable. Okay. Then void on interact, and most likely we're going to have to pass our input manager and our controller. Okay. So now let's make a pickable hook, and let's do this under the items, and let's do pickable hook. Okay, open it up. Now we don't really need much of this. We're just going to assign the Interactable, and we need this to be on R2. Okay, and we're going to implement the interface. So when somebody is picking this up, something is going to be happening. We know that this is going to be used for pickable items, which means we can just say public item target item. In our case, since we know we have our input manager, we're going to say that on the input manager controller, and I guess because we do have the controller already, we don't need this because we can just get it from the input manager. Okay, input controller, input manager, controller, weapon manager, or load weapon. There it is. We do have our target item, and let's just say just load it on the right hand, and that's pretty much it. But next we're going to have to set active to false. We kind of need to have an ID for this pickable hook for later when we are saving and adding things. Okay, we kind of want to have an ID so that we know that loading back again, this item will not exist anymore, or the player has already picked it up. But for now, just closing it will do. Because I'm kind of lazy, I'm going to go on start, and I'm going to also say game object dot layer, set that to 15. Okay, so it's going to assign the 15th layer to this, which is also the layer that we're only casting the our interactions. Also, there's one other thing that we can do, and let's go onto the enums for now, and we can say public enum interaction type. Okay, that can be talk or pickup. Let's add pickup first because I don't really care to fix this. That can be talk, open, etc, etc. Okay, then on the interface we can say interaction type, and yeah, basically it's going to force him to, going to force on anybody that implements the interface, going to force them to return back an interaction. So let's find our pickable hook, which is here. Implement this, and we can say public interaction type, and return me the interaction type. Okay, then on to my input manager, and actually let's fix this because it's going from transfer position. I think it's going to just say 1.5 should do it. Okay, so on each collider we find to this, we're going to look for the interface on the collider. I.transfer get component in parent I interactable, close that. If interactable not equals null, break it because we don't really need the for loop anymore. And also what we're going to be saying is on the game UI, which we have on the wrong namespace. So let's switch this to R2. So because now we do have different interactions, we can just say public void load interaction type, and have a switch for the interactions. Okay, obviously we're only going to have pickup, so we're going to say pickup text set active to true. Okay, now we kind of need to also know and reset the interactions, however, and we're going to do that on each frame. So we're going to say pickup text set active false. Okay, this will happen on the start of a frame, or game UI dot reset interaction, then game UI dot load interaction type. We're going to get it from the interactable dot interaction type, or let's see, cannot convert load interaction. What? Yeah, it's a method group. So let's maybe rename this to interaction type, or better yet, to get interaction type. Okay, so this will now load the interaction. We don't really know what interaction it is yet. We will need to find it out in a bit. So after that, and we can drop this in late update, because it doesn't really need to be running either on fixed update or on update. Then we can say void handle pickable item, or handle interactions, I guess. Okay, then we have our interactable, current interactable, okay, and then current interactable needs to be null at start. Okay, so handle interactions, if current interactable not equals null, current interactable dot on interact, pass this, and you're done. So we need a new button onto our player, so we need to go onto our player controls, and let's assign a pickup item. So we need a new action for the interact, I guess. Okay, action type is a button. Binding, the first one will be, let's do button south for the gamepad, and then let's say, let's do F. No, F, we have lock on. Let's do B for the keyboard. Okay, save the asset. So over here we can say, yeah, we only want it once, to be honest. So on started, let's say if we do keys player dot interact dot started, let's say let's do, can we add the handle interaction? Yeah, I don't think we can. Call increment, decrement, await, new object expressions. Yeah. So we can't do that. So I guess we only need to do this thing. On the on late update, if keys.player.interact.phase started handle interactions. Okay, and I think no, that this will do. Okay, awesome. So let's try this out. But first we need to make the pickable, obviously. So let's add a game object, just a sphere. Can just be here. Just make sure that it's smaller than the amount of the radius we are doing. Okay, and we're going to create the pickable hook. Then for item, let's say we pick up the great sword. Obviously that's not going to do much because on a great sword we don't have anything. We don't have another weapon, so let's maybe remove the great sword, and if we do not get an error, it will be pretty good. Yeah, we still have the great sword because we're using a profile. Let's see. Okay, so let's remove that entirely. And let's go here. At first you see that the text doesn't exist anymore. And going close to that, we have our pickup item. Picking it up, we can now pick up items as well. And of course, it does have the same behavior as we did it before. We are using the exact same logic. Let's see on the pickable hook, we have the weapon, but I think we can just make it so we can pick up not just a weapon, but items as well. One will be going from the cloth manager, however, the other will be going from here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say if target item is weapon item, okay, do this. Else, if target item is cloth item, input controller cloth. We do not have the cloth manager, I guess, active or public. Or let's just make this yeah, okay, let's make this let's make a method here for loading cloth. We have the load weapon, okay, public void load cloth item, then if item is cloth item, cloth manager dot load item, cloth item. Okay, and I'm going to use that on the pickable hook then. Cloth load cloth target item. So we can also have our normal weapon, and we can have our helmet maybe. Okay. Yeah, pick it up, and voila. Let's see what happens if we pick up something on the same object. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, actually the cloth doesn't matter because it's going to replace it. Let's create 2 weapons and see, maybe we end up with holding 2 weapons. Don't remember if we are doing an unload operation, but I think we are, because we cannot work this quite a long time. 200 great sword. Yeah, we are holding 2 weapons, so that means we do not do an unload. So let's go back onto the controller, then onto the load weapon item, then you're going to be copying those. Load weapon item, weapon hook. If you null, you're going to be adding that. Let's see, load weapon on hook, left item, weapon item. So if left item, left item not equals null. Let's see, do we have the load weapon model? Yeah, we do have the unload. So we kinda need to find now, that's on the weapon holder hook. Weapon item not equals null, but where do we assign this? We have the current model, okay, that's what we're going to do. If current model is not null, unload weapon. Okay. Then, well, most likely. Yeah, okay, let's leave it. Then down here, we don't need to be doing anything. Okay. Save it up, or okay, clear. Let's go and pick it up. Picking one up. I'm going to move this aside so we can see it. And voila, we do close the other weapon. Of course, we can also destroy it, but for now, that should do it. Okay, so that's it. We also have pickable items and so on. Of course, we are doing references and we're not creating new items. We'll do that progressively if we actually need it. But for right now, this works just fine and without it being too much complicated. So, as always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, then consider supporting my Patreon so we can keep making all of these nice things we're making. I'll see you next time.